It's a stream. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? There we go. Adjusting my position in frame on the vertical stream. Yeah, here we are. It's a stream. Let me check something on this. Actually, I want to see that I can actually see sort of what line I'm on and all that on the vertical stream. Oh no, I've knocked the line count off. That'll make it really hard for anybody who turns into the vertical stream to tell me what to do. Anyway, how's it going, Starner? Let's go ahead and bring this over here. There. Now the important part of the terminal's visible too. Oh, not too shabby, not too shabby. All right, well, in the interest of seeing what I've done today, actually, let's see if I can zoom this out a little bit. I really can't. Okay. So you won't be able to necessarily see all of its motion, I think. Oh, I'm not running the program. I closed it. Okay. So, you may notice there's an extra plate. You will have seen this in Discord, Starnerf. But, if that seems jerky, it's because I'm trying not to, whip all this weight around too much. Yeah. See that? That's what I was talking about, where the extra weight causes that to destabilize. So if I do something whippy, it just does that until I apply some actual force to the servo, even if it's only a little, to lock it in place. And also, ha 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 ha, ha ha, hello, hi, ah, shock. Anyway, yeah, I did all that today. And now I don't know what to do. I actually think I'm going to disable the pivot rotation for. I don't really want to though. No, I'm not going to disable the pivot. Rizzo, what are you doing? I'll keep it for now. Maybe I should. Oh boy, this seems like a waste to do with the controller movement, but I was thinking about adding a smoothing function. What do you think, Starner? Should I smooth out the turns when I use the thing, the controller? I don't even know if I. Actually, let me check something. Yeah, I'd have to import Q and math, which I don't currently do. In the other one, I don't think. Nope, I just import time and the joystick stuff from Pygame. Okay, so I get to learn this. I'm just gonna copy this stuff. And the program. Paste all that in. Rizzo, Can you be careful back there? Silly papa. Well, I already do smoothing on the camera. For everything. Because otherwise it was really jittery. Which is why I have math and Q in the camera tracking. Okay. Let me figure this out. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the same idea for the controller. Okay, I did this number equals this, and then I made a smooth value, which is this equation applied to whatever Q I create. Okay. That's fine. So first I need to set up the smoothing variables. Smoothing. Okay, this will be R trigger Q equals. How do I have it phrased over here? Okay, I do it as a DQ with a. Okay, cool. Do you know what DQ is? Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's do it with a length of 6 for now. And then we'll set the same thing for the left trigger. Okay. Smooth triggers. Call this. And we are going to set this up. Do I need it that far down? Where am I putting the smoothing in relation to where I'm identifying the triggers? If I moved the smoothing down here, I wouldn't have to do that. Okay. Keep things together. Okay, and we'll call this R trigger smooth equals, and I just want to grab exactly this, but swap out the names for the Qs. Okay. I didn't spell trigger right. There we go. In either place. R-Tigger and L-Tigger. Okay. Wait, how am I adding to the queue itself? Rizzo, you're so noisy. Okay, where am I? Okay, it's this append. There it is. Okay. So, what am I doing there? Calling that average? Yeah. I gotta get you out of here, Rizzo. That noise is driving me crazy. You good girl, come here. You want it? Yeah, what? Yeah. Go get it. She's just gonna bring it back in here. Okay. So and okay. So I want to do this here. And our trigger. Right? Have I not defined... I haven't defined our trigger at that point. Okay, I need to move this down a little bit. I'm trying to call a thing before I've defined it. There we go. And then this will be... Length. Why did I do comma 2 right there? Stop going to my terminal. I want you to go to the other tab. Okay. I mean, I don't remember why I did this, but it seems to have worked. So we'll keep it. And then we're just gonna do a similar thing here, but we're gonna swap the R's for L's. Okay, so that should give us... I think I want this S to be capitalized. I don't know why. That should give me... smoothed functions. Does that change anything? Does that break anything? Yep, I did forget a comma. I'm sure I did. Let's see here, that's line 107. Comma. Comma. Right? Where did I set this up? Yes, okay. And run. Okay, it didn't like something. It's the round function. That's what the comma 2 is for. Why? Oh my goodness, you're just trying to make every noise. Oh, you're a good dog. Good dog. Why isn't that working? Type error float is not iterable. What does that mean? Did I not import something I should have? Dog. I swear she's scratching the side of her face so that she can make that noise. I'm gonna get her food, actually. I fed the cats, but not the dog. Are you hungry? You want dinner? Okay, sit. Sit. Stay. Okay, I have returned. Once again, now I need to figure out what is causing this not to work. I imported Q, I imported math. I can't imagine struct is the reason. But I mean, it doesn't do me any harm to import it. I don't even know what it is. Play. Yeah, it doesn't like something. I guess I don't need that, actually. R trigger can't be iterated over. Wait, I want R trigger Q? What did I do here then? I thought I was copying exactly what I did for blinking here. Yeah, I'm appending to blink Q the blink packet number. And on this one, I'm appending to the R trigger Q the R trigger number. Isn't that what I did here? Oh, when I sum later, I'm summing over the Q's. Okay. Right, I want the Q's here. Thank you. I understand now, and I appreciate you. So it should be that. Well, now the controller turned off. Let's try that again. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So it doesn't like the smooth. I don't like the rattling noise. I'm gonna have to open this controller up and find out what's doing that. It doesn't like the smooth value for some reason. So why is that? Yeah. Time to print. I want to print the smooth for the R trigger, and can I do 2 prints like that. Does that work? It does. Why is it doing that? Okay, now let's print just the triggers as well. See how these compare. Come on. Okay. Okay, so something about the way I'm mathing out the smooth volume value does not work. So oh, I didn't. Sorry. The first, the 0.17 is left trigger and right trigger smooth. And then the second line is the value for the triggers. I should have done them in reverse so that they appeared left to right on the thing. And I'll change that when I stop the code. But it's, you know, it's printing. Well, they're going from -1 to essentially +1. Yeah, so they're doing what the triggers themselves are doing what I expect them to. The average is not. So I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong here. Six deep. But you, even with them being 6 deep, they should, if I don't touch anything, they should end up the same value, shouldn't, as the raw input, right? I'm not losing my mind in that particular regard, am I? Because I'm dividing the sum by the max length of the queue and then rounding it to the second digit. Let's get rid of the round function just for now. I know there's an extra set of parens from me doing this. I'm just kind of letting that ride. In case I need to bring it back. Okay, just in case the rounding is doing something weird. It was cleaning up the output. Okay, what if I just manually... 0.17 times 6 is almost... Yeah. Yeah, it's like the Q is only ending up being 1 digit long. Let me print the whole Q. Should be able to do that, right? Yeah. It's not um it's not appending. Why is it not appending? I really should round that function, but I think that's a zoom thing. That max length is 6. Me. How do I increase the font size in this? It's zoom in. Okay, yeah. Whoa, too much. There we go. Zooming in is better for the vertical viewers anyway. So yeah. Oh, I could totally see. Like, I honestly, I can see... Oh, let's go ahead and stop the program. I can see how this and this look very similar at small scale. So why isn't it appending? Did I do the append wrong? This is how I have it here. This is how I have it in other spots. It doesn't feel like I've appended it wrong. These, like the number variables here are just to grab specific packets. It knows the max length is 6. Well, I did just notice that I'm appending R trigger to both, but that shouldn't matter. I could try just appending this directly. Maybe it's a nested issue. Hasn't been a problem anywhere else, but maybe? Nope. Wait. It's kind of working now. I feel like it shouldn't be. but pretty sure that's programming. Yep, I've still got that set up as a smoothing function. It's all good. I'll just flail, as is my custom. See? But... oh, it's only doing the 0.17. It's just actually responding now. Okay, so I didn't fix the problem. Because the smooth value is not actually updating. Let's run the batch file for the other thing and see what that looks like. I just realized I've been reading chat over there, but it's fine. Okay. I'm gonna turn the tracker on. Camera 0, -1, 60. Okay. I'm not running faceReceive.py yet, but I will after I tell it to print. I want the blink Q is what I want to print right now. Alright. Let's just see what it prints for that. Yeah, it prints the whole queue when you tell it to print a queue. So that doesn't do it. I'm just gonna leave the tracker running. What is here? Nothing that I want. Okay. Okay. Minimize that. So why isn't it appended? Because I'm realizing that 1 or -1 divided by 6 rounded is going to give you 0.17. So it's not giving me an average. It's giving me that, you know, divided by 6, just by itself. So I need to figure out why it's not appending. It's gonna bug me if that's on top there. But by the same token, I am gonna go fix this so it prints the left and then the right, so that the numbers are left and right. Um, okay, let's see what Google has to say. Python Q to Q not appending. Da, 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 da. Needs to be pre-populated with initial values. That doesn't make sense. I don't think that's the right thing. Okay, here's some documentation. Nope. Let's see here. Yeah, I could try appending left. And then print the Q. Okay, it is doing the same thing. So, you know, there's that. Append left, append right doesn't, or append left or append normal does not seem to matter. If I comment out the append. Wait. Yeah, I'm gonna comment out the append. And then run it again. Yeah, it has nothing to add to it, so I don't even get a print out of it. Oh, because I took away the print. Because I'm dumb. Okay, it stays empty if I don't append at all. So that's something. I'm gonna try something weird. I'm gonna put just a value of 0. Actually, I'm gonna put a value of -1. Because that's the default from the trigger. I'm going to see if having a starting value causes it to append a second value. One second. Stop it. I was trying to match the formatting that I used over here. It's not laid out well here, but I set what the Q is, And then down here, I believe. Oh. Okay, so I'm just dumb. These need to be defined further up, outside the loop. Thank you. Where's my loop start? There. Let's try that. Hey, that's way better. Okay. Let's not print that. And instead we'll print the smoothed values. That's not all that smooth, frankly. uh huh. Interesting. I mean, I could smooth it a lot more. I wonder if the rounding is actually hurting me there. I'm going to remove the rounding again. Now that I know. So what I'm trying to do, Starnerf, is make it so that the deceleration back to 0 is smoother, because what's happening is that servo has no power to it. I'm going to keep the rounding for a second just to show what I mean. That servo has no power going to it, so it's just going to try to hold its position. And so it's trying really hard to hold it. If I apply a very small amount of power, though, then it sets itself to a new position and locks, as opposed... Basically, it's not locking in place at that point for some reason. But as soon as it takes any kind of minor input, it shifts and locks. So I'm trying to figure out a way to accomplish that by having it ramp up and ramp down. And maybe this smoothing function is not the way to do that. Maybe I need something else. This just felt like the way. Like, I could just make these wild, make it take a quarter of a second to figure itself out, and then, yeah, get rid of the rounding. A similar thing happens on the other servos. Like, whoa. While they have power, if I try to apply any force to them, they'll fight against me. So that's normal based on my experience. And some of it is definitely the fact that the weight is very swingy. Like, that's what's causing it to fight itself. The rounding is actually making it worse, which is fun. Um, like it wasn't doing it with that little of a movement before. Oh, but then it's like bouncing itself down into nothing? Interesting. How long does it take to settle down if I just let it go? Hmm. Too long. But you see, I applied just the barest amount of pressure there, and it totally fixed itself. So that's kind of what I want to figure out. Though, when it's face tracking, that's not a problem. Okay. So, I don't care whether it rounds or not. I'm going to take out the printing for now. Do I have this marked as... Yeah, debug printing. Okay. I'm going to make this all caps for my own benefit. Correct. They are... So that's the difference between servos and... Is it steppers? Oh god, there's a type of motor that reports its position back, uh, and that requires a much more advanced setup. Um, Literally, all I'm doing to tell the servos to go to a specific position. SWK, thank you very much. Yeah, all I'm doing is throwing hertz at it in a specific thing. I don't know. What is it? Are those new earrings?
Yeah.
They're very cute.
Thanks. They match my pen.
Yeah, they do. I've been brought foil of some description. That smells like salt and pepper chicken wings or something adjacent to it. I'm gonna enjoy those later. You can get servos and steppers with or without encoders. Right. To use encoders, though, I would need a totally different setup. These are just 3-pin servos. Power, ground, and signal out. I have nothing to... The board I have has no way to read encoder signals back. So that would be a totally different thing. But yeah, I don't know if you're just showing up SWK, but what's happening is when I let this servo for the rotation return to 0, I get this jiggle because it's trying to hold its sort of default position. But then if I apply any power whatsoever, it locks itself back down. The thing is, it's being fed power at its default position. Yeah, it can get itself into a feedback loop. I've noticed. So I have no idea how I would implement shock absorbers into this setup. Bushing? I cannot run the servers at a higher servos at a higher voltage. No, they are being powered off of a wall wart power supply going into a hat on a Raspberry Pi. So, and then again, just this particular servo controller, all I do is change the pulse of the signal that's being sent to it. Put a rubber washer between the yaw servo and the plate it's supporting. So the thing about that is that the way these servos are geared. Oh, good. I actually have one of the affected ones. So we're gonna hop over to the chatting screen for a second so that I can have the bigger camera. A rubber band, I might be able to finagle something. Okay, here's a set. So the actual connection between the servo and the plate is done with a toothed gear arrangement sort of here. Come on. That something like this, which is black, so it's really hard to see, has a matching set of teeth. So there's not really a place for a bushing, but a rubber band might be doable. Let me go check my junk drawer really quick. So the trick is going to be, I found a bag of rubber bands. Can I put a rubber washer on the underside of that arm so it rubs on the servo housing? Maybe? Like just something to add that little extra bit of resistance. I'm going to quickly see if there's any good mounting point for a rubber band shock absorber sort of situation. Nothing immediately coming to mind. I don't have any rubber washers, but let me see if I can whip something up. What I do have is this, which kind of feels like it's somewhere between EVA foam and like leather in the way it feels. So this would be a good way to at least test. So I'm gonna cut a really shitty washer out really quick. Don't do this at home, kids. Okay, roughly how big is that gap? Let's see here. Get out of there. Okay, so I've just cut a hole in that. I'm going to cut a slit so that I can slip it around there like a sleeve without having to take that apart, because that particular spot is very hard to get a screwdriver into now. I'd literally have to tear the whole thing down to nothing. Okay. Throw that on there. And then I think I'm actually gonna work a little bit of zip tie magic. To really squash it on there. Yeah, redesigning this section of the assembly is non-trivial, because this is not one of my designs, so I'd have to kind of start from scratch almost. All right, I've squashed a little piece of craft foam in there. It's not really... I really have no idea. This is like a rubber foam, I guess, is what I would call this. So I've squashed a little piece in there. Let's see what happens. Well, the actual reaction is slower, but it does damp it down. I wonder if the reaction is slower because of the smoothing function, actually. Let's... Yeah, I did slow that way down, didn't I? I'm going to get rid of the smoothing by setting the Q to 1. So this should be as if it's just getting the direct trigger input. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's twisting the whole assembly, though. So, this is only able to be on this, like, base so tight. And what's happening is when it comes back to position, it's rocking it and it's loosening it off of its base. Give me a second to see if I can fix that. Yeah. So the place that it's failing, and I need to design a much better option for this. The whole thing is on a tripod arm that is meant for lighting, so it has 2 bars, and then it's just small rigged onto that arm. But where it's failing is this connection right here. Which doesn't surprise me at all that that would be the failure point. Um, there is potentially a way for me to lock that in place a little better, but it requires a drill. Which I say that like it's some sort of onerous, terrible thing. Here's the drill. I mean, what it should be and what the actual design of this calls for is the very bottom base plate that has a quarter 20 lag bolt going through it right now should be aluminum. It should be metal of some description. I did not have a plate of metal to do that with. So I didn't. But what I could do is brace it somehow. The more I talk about this out loud, the more I hate it. Uh, so it might. Yes. It does. Starnerf, that's good. That's good. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to unplug these servos to take this whole thing off, so I need to make sure that everything is marked for where it goes back to. So SWK, it isn't ever actually on dead zero. The default position for the rotation is 1800, and then I modify that up or down with this equation here. So it's never actually dead zero, which is part of the problem, I think. I'm going to mark some of these, and I'm going to take that off its base and add a locating pin, because that's really good. So that's marked, that's marked, that's marked, that's marked. Good. How many things am I doing? Okay, this is and 1. I'm just gonna mark that with a 1 because it definitely already goes to the mouth. Just so you all can hear me mumbling while I do this, I'm gonna point the microphone over here. This will be M2. And then these bad boys need to get marked. So of these, they're also, this is also all zip tied onto this thing with a reusable zip tie, which I thought was a really great idea. But these things suck. Probably be easier if I had a third hand. There we go. There we go. Okay, that should be enough for me to finagle, at least. This will be left we'll make this right. Oh, it's a tough connection. Okay. Right, and I don't know, the other one. V. Because it's the letter I thought of right now. Okay. Now I need to get these out of the strain relief. I should, in theory, be able to bring the whole assembly over here. And let me just make sure I'm not lying about this thing's capabilities. Nope, there are spots for, it's not locator pins, but this particular small rig plate has a couple of different spots that will accept threads as well. I don't know how well that's going to come across on camera. So I am just going to force a screw through one of those. If your ISC DHCPD isn't answering correctly for that static lease you set up, maybe you want to make sure you told it to reload its config. I will immediately forget that, but thank you. Okay, so yeah, I just want to make sure there's nothing that I'm gonna drill into. Let's find a good drill bit for this. Don't love any of my options if I'm being honest, but I'm just gonna pop up through the bottom here. And yeah, the real version of this base plate will be more robust. This is definitely still in the rapid prototyping stage, as denoted by the fact that I printed 4 separate copies of these little mounting rectangles here today, and then still had to use a drill to get the last set to fit properly. Let's see. What's going to be the best metric thread? The real base plate I am probably going to either make out of metal, just cut it with an angle grinder, because it's pretty straightforward. It only needs holes in a few places. Or that's a pretty solid fit. And it won't bump into that. Okay. Or yeah, I think M6 is technically the closest fit, but M6 is slightly larger than quarter 20. So I'm gonna use M5 and just accept that there will be a little bit of backlash, but that it'll be better than what I have. Or I'll use hardwood to make the base. But honestly, even something like a solid plate of like an acrylic would be good. Or as much as I hate to say it, even something with a higher infill percentage. This is just printed on my printer's like standard settings, so it's 15% infill, not super thick layer lines. Okay, so that, yeah, that's not gonna twist. I do have oak left over. In fact, I have some oak that I bought for a different project that's just a thinner board that might be even better. Okay, so now I need to get this to the point where I'm happy with its location. Before I was able to kind of finagle it at the last second. I can no longer do that. So I need to get this locked on here in a good spot. I won't be able to turn this once it's in situ anymore. And I want this to be perpendicular to this plate, and it really wants to be parallel. Okay. And if I try to force it, I'm gonna rip something out. So I don't like that as a general plan. But I do have something on here that I can back off slightly, I think. I did put a 3/8 adapter on here to act as a bushing, frankly. Okay, new plan. Yeah, there's no sickening crunch, just crackles. And I'm sorry you can't see this, but it's not easy. So that is a 1/4-20 bolt coming through there, because that's what needed to happen for it to thread. Oh, the very bottom plate, SWK, does not move. That's the thing. The plate that I'm talking about that is a problem is this guy right here at the very base. That's a solid plate. The tripod itself that all of this is on has a 10-pound barbell weight around its post to give it additional mass. Theoretically, to prevent a ton of wobble. I'll see how that's going. I did just remember, though, that in addition to M6 bolts, I have a whole suite of M6 washers. So I can just use these as spacers to let me tighten this down where I want it and really crank it. Oh, got it in one. 3 is the magic number. Now, I did loosen some of this other stuff up while doing that, so I'm going to see if I can tighten that up just by shimming. I like it. Okay. There are a couple of other sort of twist points along here, but I don't want to worry about those. So I'm going to pretend they're not a problem until later. That's how engineering works, right? You just ignore your problems until they go away. get all these plugged back in. So definitely marked these M1. Okay, there you are. 1. M2 is going to go around over here. 2. I didn't mark these in any kind of, like, they all have a match. I did not have a system when I was marking these. As I'm sure y'all noticed. Okay, that looks like an R. Sounds good to me. This one is V. I remember that one. It should be one of these. V. Okay. Good. Alright, and then this, I should just have the eyeball left to hook up, which will be ABXY. It's ABXO because I'm a complete dunce. I marked X and O first, and then I needed to mark other ones. Looks like an X. There's an A. And... well, that's not good. That's an L. That means that tells me I plugged... oh no, I never plugged L in. Okay. Cool. So now I'm just missing one connection. And it is O. And I found O. Alright. Congratulations, us. Oh, that is way firmer. Okay. Let's see here. Controller on. Crash out of that. Start it up again. I mean, that would be, like, on brand. Yeah. Adding a little bushing there. It's a good call, Starnerf. I appreciate that. I appreciate the teamwork, both Starnerf and SWK. I appreciate you. So, what is your favorite color? So... yeah, I mean, let's go. I put all the work into smoothing this out, so let's have it be kind of smooth, I guess. Let's just stick to a smoothing function of 6. And... I'll put the rounding back on, but I'll round it to 3 sig figs. I definitely messed something up there. I probably have a incorrect parentheses or something on the rounding. Yep. That's exactly what happened. I should have put the paren there. I think. Yep. That is not smoother. Hmm. What? I mean, I could try a nice long smoothing function. That was a light trigger press. Okay. Yeah, not perfect, but decent. At least it doesn't feedback loop itself on the rocking anymore. So that's something. Now the question becomes, well, a couple of things actually. One of the questions becomes, why the hell is my chill music, my chill vibes muted? Why did I do that to myself? Let's see here. There we go. Now, oh boy. The question becomes, how... What do I work on next? Do I work on getting audio in to handle mouth flaps? Or do I finally... thrust bearing. Oh. Or do I finally deal with some of this other BS? Like getting pitch and roll on the head tracking. Yeah. Adding something to lift the weight off that servo would be really good. Not quite sure how to accomplish it yet. Like, I'm not sure where I would introduce a thrust bearing into the equation, I guess is what I'm lamenting. But that's an engineering problem for the rebuild. Yeah, so therein lies the rub, I guess. Because I would need to find a way to handle getting a thrust bearing to work with this. Now you've got me wondering if servo thrust bearings are a thing. Like if they make ones that are specifically designed to work with servos. Doesn't look like they do. So yeah, what I would need to do then... Ugh. That's tough. I don't have the brain power for that right now. So I will come back to it. I'm not afraid of more parts, though. I gotta say, I'm real proud of myself for... Easy fix would be extended shaft for the servo with a plate on top with a thrust bearing on that. Might not be too hard to work into that design then. The thing I'm really proud of myself though is which browser window is this in? This one. Okay, that whole collection can go away. Need to keep you. Ah, okay. This one? Yes. Hey, Redworm. I'm going to move the mouse off of that for a second so that I can pull this up. And then do I have a browser capture on here yet? No. Okay. Window capture. Add existing Chrome. Okay. I want this one. So the mouth mechanism that we're using right now, I designed from scratch in Tinkercad. So I imported models of these servos. For the hinges on the mouth plate, I remixed a print-in-place hinge. I added through holes. I had tried to do something fancy for a mounting point. Ultimately, because the mouth has to print flat on its back, the mounting piece has to be separate. Like the mouth has to print like that. So I tried to do a fancy rounded thing and then realized there was no reason to do that, and just made a cube with through holes. This is an earlier design of the arm. It was redesigned down here. These blocks are set up so that I mount the servo to the blocks and then mount into the blocks from underneath. There's just enough room on the actual plate for me to pop the servo heads off without completely unmounting them. I'm really proud of this design. Anyway, that's not important. I am okay adding parts and complexity. But I should probably start wrapping my head around pitch and yaw on the tracking. I think I'm still running the tracker in the background. Yeah. Whoa. Oh god, I'm running both things. Yeah. Oh. It really does not like it if you run both sets of code at the same time. So, okay, it's the middle number that's changing for that. Oh boy. I do not like what I just saw happen with the pitch. So, the plane that it has decided on for pitch cuts off here and then goes back. It's not a big range either. Maybe 55 degrees of range. And then this goes up to 130-ish and down to 40-ish. So that's closer to 90 degrees of range that I get on that. So okay. I need to somehow convert those into this is going to involve a lot of math, which is really annoying because I need them to be similar final outputs in order to use the calculations we did on the other servo. It was easy with the turning because that's essentially a 90-degree field that I have. But I don't have that luxury here. So I think one thing I need to do is cut it off. Oh man, okay. So to really give it its full range, what I have to do is once it reaches 180, it becomes negative. So at that point, I need to add I think I need to add 360 at that point. So if that number is negative, add 360. Which would realistically give me a range of that's 15. So that'd be 195 to 125 roughly. 195 to 125, that's 70. And then this way I can go down to 35, up to 136. So that's a range of about 100 actually. If I just have it be more natural, then it's sort of 120 down to, yeah, calling that a range of roughly 90 is okay. So I need to write these numbers down. I also need to put this knife away. This was just sitting blade up on my desk. Okay. Stay. Having it kind of follow what I'm doing while I'm doing it is actually, like, really interesting to see out of the corner of my eye. Okay. So, packet 1, or packet 0, which is pitch. If negative, add 360. And then the range that I actually get is wait, down here. So that's okay. You know what? Let's sit up in my chair, kind of like a normal person. Look down. Okay, so that's negative 160, which is realistically 200. Now that math doesn't add up. What am I doing here? Okay, because yeah, when it hits 180, it loops around to negative. So I need to add 180 to get where it would be, and then add another 180. I do have to add 360. So... Oh, I'm dumb. Yeah, negative 160 plus 360 is 200. I'm second guessing myself now. Call that... We'll account for edge cases and call it 135. And I'll cap the values there anyway. And then... Yeah, so I'm solutioning for the pitch being annoying by just checking if it's negative and adding 360 to that number. So that'll take that uncertainty out. 125, 45. Okay, that's going to be 2 equals roll. And that is... What did I say? 40, really, to 130. Okay. Now that I've done that, I can kill that code. I can run this code really quick to set everything back to center. Okay. So first, I need to get it to give me pitch and yaw numbers. Pitch and roll numbers that I can then work with. So I'm definitely going to want to add smoothing functions. So I'm just gonna preemptively create these queues. I'm gonna say 4 for these. I don't know why. Just feels right. Okay. So I've got that. Now, let's go ahead and create some information. Okay. So, actually, where do I set some of these? Like, where does... Okay, if packet blink is not none. Yep, that's all good. Y raw angle is that. Next smooth is that. Okay. So I need to put some things outside of the loop. And this will be... I'm going to want to manipulate the raw numbers first. So I'm going to call this neck pitch raw and neck roll raw. And that is just going to be... Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Do I just set these to 0 to start? Or, boy. Do I need these here? No, I can just call the packet. Okay. Because the packet exists. It's its own thing already. So, what I'm going to do is, if packet.Euler 0 is less than 0, then this is where we create the raw number. Neck pitch raw equals... No. Yeah, neck pitch raw equals packet dot Euler 0 plus 360. else neck pitch raw equals the packet. Okay, so we're just gonna start with that, and we're gonna see, we're gonna run it in debug. Neck pitch raw. Okay. Oh, this needed to be in parens. Okay. Okay. Pretty good. That's a good start. Okay. So, I do want to round these, though. To one significant figure. Even that might be overkill. I might just want to round to the whole number. Right, now just subtract the lowest value and divide by the range. With some extra math in there to make sure, to account for edge cases where I physically go beyond the range. Let's see how far I can, like, really take it, actually. Okay, I want to grab here. You know what? Let's zoom the camera out. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it just loses tracking. So 240, I guess, is where I'm gonna put that. Okay, that's looking straight up, and it looked like that got down to the... If I call it 110, I'll be really safe. But yeah, it loses tracking before that. I'll call it 115. So as not to screw myself up. Okay, so... Yeah, let's do that now. So that's 115 to 240. That's 125? Yes. Okay. So... let's see here. Yeah, 115 to 245 would be safe. So yeah, that's 130. So I take the number minus 115 divide by 130. And then then do the same thing for roll, and then do this math. Yeah, this math here. So, because it's the 2 points on the front. Let's go ahead and... Oh, controller turned off. Graceful. Okay. I just like resetting it to 0. Okay, so right now I am going to create an append packet for the pitch cue. Which will be neck pitch cue dot append. Okay. This will be neck pitch raw minus 115 divided by 130. And then I want a neck pitch smooth that does this function. Yeah. Smooth equals don't need the divide by 90 because I'm doing that math earlier. Pitch Q. Okay. Now let's print neck pitch smooth. I'm actually gonna... I was tempted to disconnect the servos, but I'm not going to. Okay. Okay. That gets me a pretty good... Oh, there's a pop in my neck when I look straight down and then come back up. Okay. Stretch. Yeah, and I might even want to tweak that to make a tighter value. But that's fine. Okay. So that's neck pitch sorted out. Which I'm just going to... I need to document where these things are better. Neck pitch calcs. Neck yaw calcs. Okay. And now I'm going to do a very similar function, but for roll. I'm actually going to grab all of this. Okay, I don't need this function. Neck roll raw. Neck roll Q. Neck roll smooth. Yeah, I need to change Euler to 2, and then I need to adjust this range. 40 to 130, so I want to do minus 40 divided by 90. Okay. Let's print out neck roll smooth. That's not changing nearly as much as I expected it to. Okay, so I've done something wrong here. Let's go ahead and reset the thing. Okay. What did I do wrong here? All right, let's start by printing neck roll raw. Okay, well, I'm sensing negative numbers, so I'm going to want to set that to 35 probably is the bottom of the range. And 135 is the top of the range. 140 to give myself some padding. Okay, so... what that should mean now is I should be looking at something like that. So let's go ahead and print neck roll Q. Am I? Oh. Yeah, that'd do it. Okay, let's try seeing what it looks like again. Because, yeah, I was not doing anything with that. Alright. Yeah, I still don't love negative numbers. So I'm going to want to cap that to 0. have to really try to go negative, but not if I lean. Okay. So minus 40. $120. Oh, not $11.20. Actually, I'm gonna put the I'm gonna create some guardrails. If da, da. Okay. How am I gonna do this? I need to make it so that if the output number is negative, then it caps to 0, and if it's over 1, yeah, I need to create neck roll scaled. You're right. Scaled. No, I need if all of this is less than 0, then neck roll scaled equals 0. Elif yeah, so I want the smoothed value. Oh man. Or are we talking about the Q value? Oh god. Yeah. Yeah, I should do it before it goes into this. Yeah. Okay. Let's get rid of all of this. Yeah, I'm trying to do the fix at the wrong spot. Okay. So we're gonna create a new thing here. Should I just change the... Oh god. Okay. Right. Yes. If this is less than 0, then neck roll scaled equals 0. Elif this is... I need colons. is greater than 1, then neck roll scaled equals 1, else neck roll scaled yeah, I could have done that. And I should do it correctly. Neck roll scaled equals that. Yeah, I'm not making it do the math multiple times. If neck roll scaled is less than 0, neck roll scaled equals 0, elif neck roll scaled is greater than 1, neck roll scaled equals 1, else neck roll scaled equals no else. Was elif correct there? Like, does doing it this way cap my values on either side? Do I have guardrails now? Okay, cool. I just want to say, this is the first time I've used elif. I found it in a Google search earlier. And then instead of appending neck roll with the math, I want to append neck roll scaled. And then I'm going to print the neck roll smooth, which should never go outside of the bounds. Sweet. I don't necessarily like that the middle position is 4. So I need to tweak the numbers so that my default I need to do this math a little differently. I need this to go... Oh, and I need it on both of them. For me to steal the math from the other one, I think I need this to go from -1 to 1. Not from 0 to 1. With this being 0. Okay, but I have the basics. I do need to change so that my normal thing is in the middle there. So I think to do that, I actually just need to reduce by that, and then this needs to be -1, this needs to be -1, and then the division number, I think I just cut in half. I think. Wow. Huh. Got it in mostly 1. Okay. I do think this maybe needs to be... Let's try 65. I don't know. It needs to tweak a little bit in one direction or the other. Maybe not that number. Maybe it's this number? Do minus 90. Divide by 60. I want to get the neutral as close to 0 as possible. That's pretty good. The center position raw. Let's go ahead and print neck roll raw as well. Okay, we'll just print both of those. It's about 85, 90-ish. Is my camera... I actually can't tell if my camera's straight, but yeah, 85, 86-ish. So yeah. Oh man, it would be great if I knew how to use that. It probably does, but I can't physically get behind it. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is setting a bubble level on top of it at some point and clamping it down. That being said, 85-ish is where we were ending up. So that's here. So let's just do minus 85. And then see what we get. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. And then what I can do is I can add... I'm going to add one more nested statement in that... in this calculation for neck roll scaled. To... make it to give myself a dead zone. Do I just do that as another elif? I think I do. But I want to do it as negative 0.1 is less than 0.1. Then, oh wait, I need the colon. Neck roll scaled equals 0. Okay, so that should give me a little bit of a dead zone, but not too much of one. And then, yeah, I start moving out of it, and it works. Okay. Instead of saying I'm surprised at how well this is going, I am going to say I think I'm finally learning. Now I need to do the same BS to the pitch stuff. Which is really annoying. Boy, I did this a totally different way, didn't I? Okay. Oh, because I had to do this. I had to do this to make it good. So now I can do neck pitch scaled equals so I'm gonna start here, but this is wrong because I still need that -1 to 1 number to come out, but I am going to just append neck pitch scaled here. Scaled. Okay. So now I need to figure out the math here. And that was going to give me a range. That was from 200 at the top to 135 at the bottom, I think is what we landed on. But let me print these. Oh boy, I bought really close up to 0 at the top there, which will be 1 in the final version. For the bottom though, I only go. Oh no, I get pretty close and then it loses tracking. Okay, so 115 to 245, yeah. Um, 245. So that is 130. It's a wide range. Wild. Okay. So okay, well I did grab 130 as the number before, but I need to double that, so I need to do minus 230 and then only divide by half of that. I think that's what I did down here. I'm gonna put in the guardrails in a second, but okay. I've done something wrong here. Because one of these, looking down, should give me a positive number. Okay, the hacky way to fix this would just be to put all that in parentheses and then do -1. Or +1. +1. But is there a better way to do it? Do I need to, I mean, there's probably a better way to do it. Do I need to find a better way to do it, I guess is the... Oh yeah, just don't subtract double. Sure. Then I go from 0 to 2. Interesting. Do I subtract the midpoint then? That seems wrong. Right, yes, I subtract... Duh. Yeah, let me just run this at 180 really quick. And okay, according to this, my resting position is 165, 166. Okay. Okay, so I still need to do the math. Like I still need to put the guardrails in. But I should be able to just steal this for that. Looking up is going to be more important than looking down. So, let's change that. I've ruined it. I need to go the other way? Or I need to move where it thinks the resting point is. Nope, that is worse. That is definitely worse. Because I do kind of default look a little bit down anyway, like when I'm playing a game. So yeah, moving the resting point is better. So let's call that 175. Bring that to back to 65. Okay, that gives me a much bigger up range. Like, then the down range is bad, but my resting face, I just need a slightly larger dead zone, I think, specifically for the down. What I can do is I can kind of shift where the dead zone is, I think. Because I get to set where the dead zone lives. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So let's grab this. And then every instance of roll needs to be changed to pitch. Pitch. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is change the location of this dead zone to that. Okay, when I look down, I get some down. I look up. I get some up. My sort of casual resting position, however, sits at a 0. It's interesting. Okay. And go. So now I get to put in the actual math. Actual head pitch roll. Alright, this is where I wish it were just as simple as stealing this, but I don't think it's going to be. Okay. I need to identify this servo. Did I do that already? No. I am just going to call these neck 1 and neck 2 because they both do pitch and roll. Equals 9 and equals 10. Those should be the same as over here. Nope. 6 and 7. Right. Right, I'm doing things out of order. I could do neck L and neck R, but I'm not sure which is which. Let me just trace the cables. This is left. Oh, making spaghetti over here. Okay. Well, that's definitely not right. Okay. Neck left. Okay, that is 6. L is 6, R is 7. Yeah, as if the I were me, is how I'm doing it. Not camera perspective, but relative to the I. Okay. Neck L, neck R. Good. Now I'm gonna go grab these again. Whoa. Weird. Oh no, I got him here. Okay. So this will be neck L. This will be neck R. And then in a perfect world, this would just be neck roll smooth. And neck pitch smooth. Now the thing is, I think that pitch might be inverted on this. So I might have to do some finagling there and just re-invert it. Okay. So, in theory... Holy shit. It could do with more down. But that's just tweaking math. It does. Why is it doing that? Hey, Rubik. Okay, I might need to put in some kind of correction. Yeah, it does seem to be a tracker issue. Whoa, buddy. I can't do anything about the camera position. The tracker camera and the stream camera are the same camera. Yeah. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't having to account for habits of having to look at a different camera. You know what? Let me print out the pitch, roll, and yaw numbers so we can see what's happening. Alright. I did that one weird, but... Boy, I just used different syntax for all three of these, didn't I? Okay. No, pitch and roll used the same syntax. Yaw used something different. So, let's go. Yeah, it's assigning a number there that it shouldn't be. I wonder if there's a way for me to... Oh god, I need to clamp that output though. Yeah, I hate this. It's the location of the rounding that's the problem. Does that work? That's probably not correct. Yeah. Get rid of that and then do that. That doesn't feel right, but it is. Okay. Well, one thing I can tell you is that my yaw dead zone is wrong. Okay, I think I need to potentially look into doing a thing where if I turn... Why is this where it wants... Okay, so I need to fix that, first of all. I need to clean up yaw. And then I need to maybe do a thing where... if I go past a certain point, then it does a it compensates, is what I'm trying to say. Right? Thank you, also. Yeah, if absolute value of yaw is greater than that, subtract some pitch. Sounds like a good plan. Hey, baby. Can you come tell me how cool I am? Whoa. Are you ready to see how cool I am? Look, no hands.
Doing pretty good. Yeah. That's cool. Cool. It's doing great.
I'm really pleased. Or as Starnerf said, I've got a one-eyed monster for you to check out. You know, Starnerf, I've had to start saying that I'm the second funniest person I know, thanks to you. Good stuff. And then, in theory, when this is all set up, I'll be able to go like, ah. Oh, wait, I don't have controller inputs on this one. Never mind, I was gonna use this to make it laugh, but I don't have the... I can't run this and the controller at the same time right now. There will be a version of this where the controller will override whatever could be going in there. Next step is fix the pitch issues while yawing. Or the pitch and roll issues while yawing, because it is rolling a little bit too. And then, yeah, I think next step is sound mouth, because second eye is more of a hardware problem than a software problem. And I want to kind of get the software to a reasonable point. Honestly, second eye at a very basic level could be handled by just giving... just splitting the signal off of first eye. And having it do all the exact same stuff. God, this is so cool. Okay. So yeah, sound mouth, I think, is next after fixing. It's fixing, and then it's sound mouth, and then it's hardware. Then we're into like final mounting and then puppetry. Rubik, that's the thing. I say it is as simple as that. The software I'm using does track each eye separately, and the certainly overrides that I do with the controller, like I could have it be left bumper, he goes cross-eyed, without me having to do it, and like right on the D-pad he squints, kind of thing. And that's definitely part of it. I really need to open this controller up. I'm going to do that probably off stream tomorrow and find out what's rattling around in here, because that's upsetting. But yeah. Major progress, I think, tonight. It is safe to say. Now, all that being said, I don't even know if I've told JR this. I have to be up for work at 5 in the morning.
No!
I guess I hadn't told her yet. So I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see y'all on Saturday for some more undeserved success. I don't know. You're all cool. Thank you for hanging out. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.